Time to use the home win against Clermont and the bonus points against Ironi to the full. Time for Ulster to stand tall, and Ian Humphreys, once a Tiger, brought back to Ulster to replace his big brother David. On nights like this, so much pressure.
There's some atmosphere, isn't it? The crowd won't need much to lift them to fever pitch, but if any extra inspiration is required, expect to find the stimulus in the powerful shape of Stephen Ferris. Will the blindsides hold the key to tonight's compelling Heineken Cup tie?
Romain Poit has flown in from France for this. One of the lucky ones. Ulster versus Leicester. Heineken Cup hopes on the line. Get-out clauses for the defeated would start to look barely worth the paper they were written on. Humphreys with a bounce or two of the ball. And he's going to switch. And he's going to test Leicester here. And it's Anthony Allen back in the side after a long layoff, returned last week. He opted to trap it first of all. Surface is in pretty good nick. And of course we've had no rain. And Ben Youngs clears for Leicester.
Well, Ben Youngs is so important tonight, isn't he? Billy Twelvetree's a talented young player, but more familiar at 12. It's going to be a pressurised night. Ben Youngs is going to have to take a lot of responsibility. That was a decent first clearance with his right boot.
Rory Best will throw in, one of the best at the Rugby World Cup. 54 caps for his country now. Important figure tonight. He goes long and over the top. And Ferris is trying to get there, and Ferris has got there. Another major figure in this game. John Arfoa, who missed the game at Welford Road in round 2, had to go back to New Zealand to get married. And there's Pedri Vandenberg taking it up to halfway, who's come all the way from South Africa to be part of what Ulster are trying to do here. Cave carried well to find Gilroy. Two of the young new breed with scavenging on the floor from Aguja, but it's gone forward and we'll get a scrum here. Now this was a contest that went Leicester's way in the first meeting, but as I say, Arfoa is back.
Yeah, it was interesting. Ian Humphreys very deep there, and it enabled Darren Cave to get quite wide. We saw a half break. Just wonder if Ulster all game we're going to try and find that channel a bit wider. Arfoa, he's done so well since he came here, but he's up against one of the best in Aertsa, perhaps Leicester's most consistent player all last season.
Wrist injury for Aertsa against Clermont, but he's back. Talk about key battles. To say this is one on this side as we look.
Pause.
And it's a free kick, first blood Ulster, and they go quickly, and that has gone into the sky. Paddy Wallace chases, up comes Jordan Murphy. Normally so good underneath the high ball, and he was again. I think he only just got that one. 12trees tries a similar tactic, and Terre Blanche is not so good underneath the high ball. And it's fielded by Aertsa, and Leicester bring Hawkins, the hook, around. Matt Smith now drives the ball on with his power. Youngs, Parling, 12trees. Aertsa again, who reacted well from the Terre Blanche drop.
Stay.
It's Youngs to 12trees. Trying to thread that one through, and Terre Blanche needs it to sit down after that shaky start, but he's back into his stride. Literally here, Stefan Terre Blanche finding Rory Best. Good recovery from the fullback. Showed his experience through the hands of Humphreys, but clearly backwards. Trimble's got his hands on it, and it's moving across the Ulster line now to find Vandenberg. He cuts back inside. Lovely ball, back to Trimble. His international colleague Murphy in with a tackle, taken on by Tui. Here's Pienaar, they fancy the blind side. Wallace is one of them there. Tackled by opposite number Anthony Allen. Trimble heavily involved in this attack. And Ulster will really want to use him a lot. He's a key weapon for them. Pienaar to Humphries. First real attack of the match now. And that's good running from Henry. Strong running indeed. Comes past Pienaar, picked up by Vonenberg. Ulster into their driving game here and in a very dangerous position as far as Leicester are concerned. There's Rory Best in midfield. Cross comes Waldron for Leicester. Pienaar to Wallace. Men flying in from both sides. Going to have to keep up this commitment right the way through. It's going to be a test of fitness tonight. And although I said the pitch is in reasonable nick, this time of year it's going to be heavy wherever you are. Arfoa, well, he's a heavy man and he used his weight there. Waldron tries once again to turn the Ulster player, but he couldn't do it. Look at all these phases now. Tui. Pienaar. Blasting on was Ferris. Pienaar again. Chance here for Terblanche. He may have dropped an early ball, but he might be about to score a try. Pienaar again. Vonenberg had 2 goes. Doesn't matter. Trimble. Andrew Trimble. What an attack. It just wouldn't stop. Ulster, who started a threat again last season, this season looking to push the boundaries even further. Referee Poit asked the question, yes or no? The Ulster fans think yes.
Yes, it's a try. If you watch him now, the foot is in the air, nowhere near touch, knees there. That's a good finish from Trimble, but that is all about the battering ram assault that came from the Ulster forwards. From the moment Chris Henry stepped back inside and got over the gain line, Leicester never stopped them. This will be a try, but it's all about the Ulster pack.
And it will be a raw 2 to go with the try. Trimble popping up everywhere in that move. That's how he likes to play.
But you watch that one. Best was involved, but our forward was so strong. Ferris injected pace. Chris Henry a couple of times, and a really good pass from Paddy Vonenberg. John Afoa, you see, he's not stopped quite on the gain line. Now watch Ferris now coming, pick up there, driving from Henry. It's good play here. Ferris again. Leicester have to stop the man on the gain line. It's quick ball. And then Vonenberg, really good hands from the South African. Soft ball there. Tuolangi taken in. Great finish.
Pienaar the kicker. Right on the touchline. He's caught it really well. They're cheering. And so they should. Great start for Ulster. First a try and then the icing of the conversion. And it was a real tester, wasn't it, for Pienaar?
That was bludgeon and rapier stuff, wasn't it? The forwards battered their way. Vonenberg with a pass, a fine finish by Trimble, and a killer kick from Pienaar.
Long restart was from 12 trees. He picked out Ferris. Was he the man with the muscles in the cartoon in the paper this morning? Throttling the Tiger. And he got underneath Leicester's skin. No team talk required after that. But it looks as if Ulster are living up to their words too, as Waldron has taken out 7 minutes, 7 points for the home side.
Well, the forwards set up the try, but then Pienaar becomes the master, the man who kicked the 2 points. A beautiful box kick here. This is everything that the Ulster pack wanted from their scrum half. Pure precision, on the money, makes it easy for the chase. Ulster get the throw. That's beautiful play, Pienaar.
Best went long, didn't he?
Beyond 15.
Reasonably long that time to Vandenberg. Maybe that was the intended previous target. The jump was timed perfectly that time. Humphries goes up that side, was where he scored against Clermont right at the start of the pool, assisted by Adam Darcy, who's on the bench tonight.
Vantage over!
Leicester hardly had a chance to settle into their game, but they might get a moment here as Matt Smith carries the ball on and into Trimble, but Trimble rips the ball away, but not for long, because Tuilangi, that's a superb scoop, and he's gone for the little kick in behind, might fall for Murphy and does, and to the Allen, back comes Ferris, and now Ulster have it to try and break away with Gilroy. Leicester, it seemed, were about to score. Ferris had other ideas. Humphries clears.
Fabulous from Ferris, and it was very clever. Tuilangi's kick was a beauty. The ball stood up for Jordan Murphy, and you felt this has to be a score. Smith initially with the carry, ball is ripped from Trimble, and then it goes backwards, and Tuilangi scoops it up with the one hand, and that's a very alert kick. He knows he can't get there. It stands up for Murphy, and you think this has to be a try. Bang! Ferris with a fantastic hit. Borderline high on Anthony Allen, but Remempoit says play on.
Ferris, it was man of the match against Clermont in round one. He was hobbling around in that game at times, but doesn't seem to worry him. Here's Aguja. He's played for Leicester in their quarter-final in Dublin last season. And Ulster are going to get the put in. Leicester don't like it.
Well, problem for Leicester there. That was a floating pass from Ben Youngs, and you don't want Horacio Aguja taking that. He's got great feet, he's very fast, but he is not a big man in the context of this game. And when you get someone like him in midfield, Ulster just think we can really keep him off the ground. You heard Remempoit say held up, and that's why you get the turnover. This is not a good pass from Youngs, and you don't want Aguja as the target there. You can see Henry, who's had a superb start, holding his man up, and the ball is turned over.
Use this time as we have an injury break to look at the table as it stands. If Ulster win this game and Leicester get a bonus point, you can see how close to the edge Leicester are. They have Ironi in the final week, Leicester, and we have to assume 5 points for them in that match. Clermont have Ironi tomorrow, so let's assume the same thing up to 16, and that would set up the shootout to top the pool between Ulster and Clermont in France next week, if it stays like this. But there's so much to happen in the next 70 minutes. But we'll keep you in touch with the table and how it changes in relation to the projected result. Ben Youngs has come round offside.
Interesting, isn't it? Chris Henry playing open side, but he's scrummaging at 8, and Ben Youngs is the man penalised. And of course, this is a significant kick in terms of as it stands. I must admit, I don't worry about it too much till the second half. Let's just hold on here.
Tap to your box. There's no link with us. There is just one link with you. Okay? Thank you, sir. Thanks.
I say, Miles, this kick goes over from Ruan Pienaar. It's 10-0, and then if we see as it stands, then Leicester will be down to 12 points, and Ulster would then be in a position, if they win by 8 points, where Leicester cannot catch them, so Leicester would be out. Henry packing at 8.
Where we go?
Ben Youngs come round, puts the boot in. Nervy start. Nervous performance against Wasps as well. Nerveless kicker, Ruan Pienaar.
Long-range kicker as well. Also got the Ian Humphries option when it comes to kicking tonight, Ulster. It's Pienaar who started, and started really well. He's nailed this. He's nailed this. 10-0.
Well, he's been in Ulster long enough now to forget the firm grounds of Durban. Home turf for him, and he's striking the ball sweetly, isn't he? Very influential start, Ruan Pienaar. 2 beautiful kicks.
12 trees with the restart again. Not words that Leicester fans will want to hear. But they'll want to see that Leicester fighting for every scrap at the breakdown. And they've got the put into the scrum because of that fight. And that's the point that Stuart was making about denying Leicester the bonus point, leaving them on 12 and leaving them really cut adrift. These two qualified as runners-up last season, both with 22 points, I seem to remember. We set off this season looking like it was going to need round about that mark again, but we've been pulling back from the 22 mark last couple of rounds, the ones before Christmas, and revising what total will be required for a runner-up. 19 is the lowest over the years since we introduced the bonus point system, 24 the highest. Team qualifying from second place in their pool.
Well, if Leicester are going to get some immediate points as a riposte to that Pienaar 3, it's a good chase from Aguja from the kick-off from 12 trees, wasn't it? He snagged Stephen Ferris and earned the turnover.
It's locked pretty firmly from both sides, that scrum. See Tom Court having a little look over the top. Here goes 12 trees. And that's the power he can bring from 10. Youngs, without his normal partner at half-back for club and country, Toby Flood. Here's Youngs again. Oh, it might work! Murphy is through. It really does work. And Leicester, having suffered early on, with Ulster flying out of the blocks and establishing a 10-0 lead, typical of the Tigers, they go for the killer ball, and they find it. Could have been intercepted, it wasn't. It was scored by Jordan Murphy.
It's a brilliant pass from Ben Youngs. Talked about it floating one out for Aguja earlier. Watch this, couple of paces, it pulls Ferris up, Trimble up, and Murphy picks it out. Trimble sucked into that one, and that is a fast, fizzing, perfect pass from the England scrum half. And Jordan Murphy made a try against Wasps, scores one against Ulster. Leicester needed the comeback, they get it very quickly. A brilliant pass from their international scrum half.
And here's 12 trees. 29 points less. It should be feeling good. Of course, this is a very different situation, but it's not a different result for 12 trees. In fact, it's perfectly through the middle, which represents a good start from him as well, alongside Pienaar for Ulster.
Trimble is lured into going up for this one, and Jordan Murphy will just fade outside him, as Murphy does brilliantly. Trimble's up, Murphy's in the ghosted spot. Wonderful take there from Murphy, but that's about Ben Youngs.
Anthony Allen. Trimble drawn into going for glory, but Youngs had his man.
Quick ball as well, Miles. It's so important in this game. When Ulster got some quick ball and they had that concerted period of pressure, it ended up with Trimble scoring, and then Trimble on the other end, the receiving end, as quick ball for Leicester, and Youngs lures him into space and Murphy goes through.
It was brilliant on the catch and chase, Andrew Trimble, as we saw last week. Man comes down, referee wasn't looking at it, he was talking to Castro Giovanni about potential offside. Here's Arfoa. Pienaar. Short to Court. Brisbane-born. Of course, fully fledged Irishman now. Family from County Mayo. There's Humphreys to Wallace, and then Gilroy on the spin. 21 years of age, Belfast boy. And quick. Arfoa, not as quick, but strong. And showing ingenuity as well on the floor there to go with that strength. Tui's raid there. Back now to Humphreys. And then Darren Cave. And Darren Cave going on. Selvey getting back very quickly there. Had to. But it was a double tackle in the end to stop Cave, but it keeps on coming from Wallace. On it goes to Tui. Pienaar. Ulster again getting men running onto the ball at pace. And with muscle too. This is how they set up the first score. Pienaar again to Humphreys. Trimble. More required at the breakdown. Pienaar gets there quickly, the scrum half. Well picked up by Henry, goes for the strong handoff. Aguja feels he's got to fly in, came off his feet, referee. He's going to say to Thomas Waldrum as well.
Tackle not release.
Having made the tackle, release the man on the floor.
Leicester have got a problem here. as Pienaar goes.
Pienaar with the tap to find Stephen Ferris. Might have a big problem. Rory Best. Also not helped there by the loose pass. Try and regather the momentum, but from a lot further out now. Darren Cave, who started this attack, and he's gone into his own man there. That's an accidental offside. So it's a very disappointing end for Ulster, having won the penalty.
Well, Leicester have a big problem at the moment in that Ruan Pienaar is getting to every breakdown except when they're about 5 metres from the Leicester line, and just getting ball on a plate. It's so quick, and that's enabling the big runners to come onto it. And if Leicester can't slow Ulster's forwards down, it's not just about the one-on-one tackling, it's the speed of the ball. In that instance, he actually waits a bit, but most of the time it's a constant stream of quick ball. That's why Ulster are getting the gain line. It's why Pienaar is orchestrating this game. Leicester have to put more men into the breakdown, otherwise they're just passively going to allow Ulster to take control.
Pienaar and Offoa, we saw the contribution of Offoa there. Both were missing from the first meeting, as well as young Paul Marshall played in Ruan Pienaar's number 9 shirt. And Pienaar is a world-class act at this point of his career. Plenty of possession for Ulster, but now only a 3-point lead to show for it, following Leicester's comeback, and Leicester come back at the scrum as well. Castro Giovanni.
Well, good news for Leicester is with quick ball of their own, they cut Ulster up pretty easily, but they cannot afford for the possessions to stay like that.
12trees has missed the touch. To Blanche, little glance to his left. He was thinking about launching Trimble. He's launched him in a different sort of way on that chase. He was talking about so good when Trimble challenges for the ball in the air, but that time it was too close to Thomas Waldron for Trimble to make any difference. Not to say he won't do it at some stage. Here's Ter Blanche again, and Trimble wants it. Gives it to Gilroy. Bit high for Humphries. That dictates what he has to do, although that was probably right to the forefront of his mind anyway, that sort of kick, and it was a well-executed one, and it puts heaps of pressure on 12trees, who can't get any length with that touch fine. Missed the previous one from the penalty.
Look at this now, Hawkins, the right-hand side of your circle, chaser there from Ulster. Watch what happens now. Hawkins just eases his man out. Touch judge doesn't see, as Wannenberg is saying, come on, that's a penalty. Smart play from Hawkins if you're a Leicester fan, cynical if you're an Ulster man.
George Shooter went off last week, got a knock. Hawkins came on, played very well, and gets the starting berth today. There's Johan Muller, the captain, man who took the Sharks in South Africa to their first Currie Cup for 12 years.
8 on feet.
Time the breakdown penalty goes to Leicester for Ulster not releasing the ball as opposed to the man.
One penalty at the last scrum, and now a penalty at the line out. It's frustrating Ulster. Billy 12trees does the right thing there. It's not a lot of length in that kick, but having missed the last one, then he's got to make sure he finds it a little bit. Going to the back, and they're getting initially some pretty good ball. Johan Muller, he's taken more lineouts than anyone in the Heineken Cup. He's been an outstanding captain.
Hawkins, formerly of Bath, throws to Maffey, already with 12trees. Here comes Anthony Allen. Joel Murphy at pace, gives it on to Alessandro Tuilagi. This battle with Trimble is going to be one well worth watching, and he came through his man there, did Alessandro Tuilagi. That's Julian Salvi's important try against Clement Auvergne at Welford Road. Could prove to be vital in this pool. Could also prove to be vital Leicester's lack of bonus point away to Ironi. They only got 3 tries. 12trees to Ter Blanche, who got his first Ulster try against Munster. An excellent performance here a couple of weeks ago. Taken by Jordan Murphy. Who's going to claim that? Whose name's on this? Might even be Murphy's. Came off Murphy for a knock-on. Kick by Pienaar.
What a kick.
Yeah, really good kick from Pienaar. The control that he's showing is excellent for his side. Aguja's gone quickly here to find 12 Trees, who's putting everybody on side and getting it back towards Castrogiovanni. That's great commitment from Billy 12 Trees. There's Thomas Waldron, missed out on the full England squad. 12 Trees, Allen again, and Hawkins, the hooker, finding himself on the wing. And he doesn't mind that, and he's very good at that. 12 Trees again, to Waldron. First time Leicester have really had this amount of possession, apart from when they scored the try. Are they going to score again? Here's Smith to Croft. Not seen too much of Croft in the loose yet. See him there. Little chip over the top, hook kick by Youngs, but it's the mark called by Gilroy. I think Youngs knew as well that his side were a man down, and I can't see Jordan Murphy, so I think it must be him.
Poor kick, though, from Ben Youngs, and you contrast that with Pienaar, as Terre Blanche doesn't get much time, but gets it away. No doubt at the moment, the Ulster kicking game is a little bit better than Leicester's.
Time off, bad injury.
Referee's going to have a look at this injury.
Jordan.
Blood is the call, and it's Jordan Murphy.
He told you there's no link with you.
Captain on the floor, concern there from Castrogiovanni. And he wants a drink as well. So too Murphy, who's taking his time here.
I enjoy with you, but just with you. Okay?
Nervous times for Richard Cockrell and Matt O'Connor. Quarter-finalists knocked out in Dublin last year, the year before. Out at the pool stage, Leicester a too big a club. There's the injury. It's a thumping tackle by Tui on Murphy. Timing is really good here. Murphy waits the pass and boom, that's beautiful.
Five men. 5 to 5.
Murphy lives to tell another story in this game. He'll try and create one, already a try scorer. Youngs, 12 Trees, missed out Allen this time, given straight to Smith, on to Tuilangi, now it's Aguja. He's thrown to the floor by Gilroy. Trees to Castrogiovanni, he wants a speedster really. Allen's got more pace, but he doesn't judge the kick. In fact, it's straight to Trimble.
Push. Hands on.
Arfoa to Humphries. And Murphy's going to be tested here. And he takes Chris Henry. And here's Youngs trying to pull it out again. Castrogiovanni. Leicester won't be unhappy with this passage of play. The game has settled a bit now. And much more on their terms than they were in the first 15 minutes or so. Here's 12 Trees to Waldron. Bumping off the Ulster tacklers, who always seem to be there. Long way back there for 12 Trees to get away from those tacklers. Plenty of Gary Owens and plenty of Selby there on Terre Blanche, but Trimble has seen that it might be possible. Good vision from Trimble, then it was Cave from Gilroy, and Leicester managed to get hands in there. It's good work from Trimble.
Well, how did that happen? Because Leicester, the kick wasn't a bad one from 12 Trees. The chase from Salvi was good, but the next man up on the chase was Martin Castrogiovanni. And the problem there is that enables Trimble to just look at his prop forward and say, hey, Castro, you're pretty quick for a prop forward, but you don't have a chance here. The Leicester chase didn't have the right man, and that's why, in the end, Trimble and Gilroy found a bit of space.
Decision by the assistant overturned. It will be an Ulster line-out. Come off a Leicester hand from Vandenberg, and Pienaar won't be too grateful for that kind of ball.
Push on the line.
Pienaar, though, gives this air of confidence and calmness to his team. Humphries high again for Murphy. He's getting a fair old battering. 33, 34 in April, Jordan Murphy. Stefan Terblanche is 36 going on 37. And here he comes.
Look at the time Terblanche has there.
A couple of old men at full-back tonight. Don't mind me saying. And 12 trees. It's a good bounce here, and it is still rolling. And the referee is going to take it back. Was still moving when 12 trees did the fencing lunge.
I know it's the law, but it's a daft law, isn't it? You know the ball isn't going to go out. I'm not blaming Billy 12 trees or anyone who takes advantage. That ball is stopping, and those are the laws, and so it should go back for the scrum. Nothing to do with 12 trees, Leicester or Ulster, but it's a daft law.
It's stopping, but it was moving.
Yeah, it wasn't going out, was it? If the ball goes out, then you go back. If it doesn't, then it's a dropout 22. For once, I'm trying to be reasonable.
That's why I'm in a state of shock.
Back me up once.
Oh, I'll never agree with you when you're reasonable.
No. I'll try not to do it again.
The world will be a strange place.
It would stop turning. There'd be two moons in the winter sky. At the moment, Leicester, you know, the midfield's not functioning. They're not sharp. Allen and 12 trees don't really have the coordination. It's a little bit slow and loopy, but Leicester's ball not quite as quick as Ulster's.
Hooker green hooker, we come close. Okay?
So it's a chilly night.
We move.
But there's hardly any wind. It's perfect, really, for rugby.
Couldn't be better. Could not be better. It's a beautiful night for rugby.
No.
And the hands should be warmed up, both sets of players.
Touch.
Been plenty of involvement,
Pause.
forwards and backs.
Bind up.
Approaching the half-hour mark. And 3 points in it. Ulster scrum was getting Tigers moving backwards there. Well, backwards and across. Here's Tuilangi trying to go forwards. Brother Henry played in the game here 2004 when Leicester lost 33-0. So a bit of family business maybe for Alessandro Tuilangi to sort out. Hardly needs a motivation. And there's a little extra one, if required. That was Anthony Allen. Youngs to Jeff Parling, who's moving up to the England squad because of injury to others. Courtney Laws, the man. The man there was Horacio Aguja. Jordan Murphy. And Terblanche hoping for a bit of a roll, but he's not going to risk that one.
Once again, Leicester not really helping Horacio Aguja, an inside ball, and also were very close to holding up. It had a wriggle, get to the floor, get that one ball back, and it was slow, and Jordan Murphy just forced to kick it rather aimlessly away in the end.
Get the line, 10. Get the line behind you, 3.
And that has swung right around, hasn't it? Was similar figures for Ulster. The last 10 minutes, as it felt was the case, Leicester getting their hands on the ball, and Thomas Waldrom, who was the man of the match when these two met at Welford Road last year. Ricochets around, and it will be a line out to, it should be Leicester, it is, yes.
Well, Ulster are pressing up very quickly, and you've seen Anthony Allen, who kicked the ball straight into Trimble, playing right on the gain line with his kick, and Cockrell and O'Connor have seen 12 trees. Once again, it's a very late kick. If it comes off, it leaves the defence with nowhere to go. It's turned, but there's always the danger of a stray boot getting there, and that time in the end it worked out quite well for Leicester.
It's a very tense night. Saw it there with Richard Cockrell's posture. His eyes were shining in the interview before the match. Up for the fight, all right. Can his side deliver in those key game-turning moments? Well, that's a long blast from Romain Poit, and we know what Ruan Pinard can do from here. Now, it's very important that the penalty is taken in the right position.
Shot.
I think Leicester a tiny bit unlucky there. I thought Rory Best came from behind and went off his feet very easily, very quickly. Romain Poit on the other side saw Thomas Waldron going off his feet. Net result, Brian McLaughlin sees his South African star with a chance to push the lead out to 13-7.
Interesting there, as you're talking to, Romain Poit did not move from the position where the penalty had been awarded, and Jordan Murphy came all the way up from fullback to make sure that he didn't move right at the very end, because there is a point when the referee has to turn his back.
What are you suggesting?
He's not an owl, and Jordan Murphy policed the situation.
I've never known any goal kicker cheat in that situation. Not for a few years. This bloke doesn't need to, though, does he? Struck the last one beautifully.
Had plenty of spare on the last kick. Let's see if he can do it again.
Good grip on the left foot in this part of the pitch as well.
Pienaar then. Well, it was taken for the right spot, and on that occasion he could not have afforded it to be any further back, but it got there, and Rohan Pienaar made a heavy noise when he hit the ball, and you're thinking, can it? Well, it did. 3 more points for Ulster.
Well, we're talking about speed of ball at the breakdown and set piece, but right now the difference between the two teams is the brilliant goal kicking of Pienaar.
Restart take by Matt Smith, then to Ilangi. Just gives Ulster that little bit of breathing space in what looks destined to be a tight game.
That was a super kick-off and chase by Smith. 12 treated Smith really well to give them the ball back.
Youngs to Murphy. Leicester have got to sort this. They're giving too many penalties away at the breakdown.
It's an old habit at the breakdown. It's Ulster conceding set-piece penalties. Leicester at the breakdown. It's the Ulsters too, both can see one at the line out, one at the scrum. Leicester, the majority of theirs at the breakdown. It makes it very easy for Humphreys to just take 30-40 metres out of it, and this Ulster line out has functioned pretty well at the moment. Other thing, Miles, about the Ulster line-out, they're winning quite a lot of good ball at the tail. That's very dangerous for Leicester. Can release their midfield runners, get Trimble into the game.
We just had a little bit of work on those penalty count figures.
No, he said not to. He said the handle
Kick to, and that was the third. At least. Here goes Waldron. That comes off Trimble, but initially backwards. That's the key, even if it bounces forwards after that. As long as it goes backwards first of all, it's not a knock-on. He'll chip over the top from Humphreys. Murphy. Murphy's been called upon an awful lot, hasn't he, from fullback, either with the high ball or those bouncing around in front of him. That was good leg work from Alassana to Ilangi. There's Allen. And this will be Terblanche's. They had plenty of time on that occasion, and he made good use of it, the South African.
And there's no doubt, is there, that Terblanche, his legs have lost a lot of their speed, but he reads the game so well. He's been around such a long time. But Leicester are making it easy because Allen is being used as a secondary kicker. But frankly, he's not kicking very well at the moment, so it's making it easy for the Ulster fullback to just patrol the back.
Hey, Dwight. Step.
Terblanche signed on because of that unfortunate injury to Jarrod Payne. Some player, Jarrod Payne, Achilles injury, out until next season, sadly. So he's going to miss all of Ulster's campaign, which may or may not include the Heineken Cup knockout stages. At the moment, they're reasonably well placed. There's Clermont and Verne to come next week as well, so it won't be done tonight, even if they do win. If they do get there, is a penalty to this put-in, and 4 minutes until the interval. Now, this is when you can see one of those game-turning moments. Both sides will be aware of it, wary of it.
Leicester are being held up and turned over too easily. They're a little bit slow at the breakdown at the moment. Ulster very smart, very sharp. They're winning that battle. I think tactically McLaughlin at the moment seems to have it over Richard Cockrell at that aspect of the game.
We stay close till the end. We stay close till the end.
Maybe a perfect night for rugby, but it doesn't mean it's easy out there because of the heaviness of the turf.
Crutch!
She's not cutting up too badly, but bound to be soft.
Touch!
I walked it with Dowie before, Miles, and I think it's pretty decent. I think it's very good. You can turn on it and move. I think it's outstanding at this time of the year.
There's Humphries. And then Cave to Blanche. And Trimble, who has beaten Tuilangi. Aguja caught by Cave, and Trimble carried over. What we're saying about game-turning moments. Suddenly, Ulster go up 1 or 2 levels there, and once more it's Trimble inspired. He stripped Tuilangi on the outside, and after that, it was all down to Aguja.
But it's about the kicking game here, you know. It's so much better. Whereas Allen and 12 Trees are not finding space. That kick there from Ter Blanche puts Aguja under all sorts of problem. And Cave helps Trimble. But whereas Leicester are kicking ball away to the Ulster back 3, Ulster are kicking it into space, and they're giving the chasers a chance. Poor old Horacio Aguja there. Once he picked up that ball, he knew that all of Ulster was coming for him. And as you say, this gives Ulster a great blindside scrum.
Well, he famously lost his shorts in the quarter-final against Leinster. He nearly lost his shirt there, did Aguja, as Trimble had his opposite number. And the crowd on cue have decided this is the time in the game when they want to see their side pick some fruit. And what a scrum this is. Ofoa gathers himself. He was signed for moments like these. Signed to deliver against the likes of Leicester's front row. Marcus Ajurza opposite him in Heineken Cup matches that matter.
Touch!
Pienaar to put in. He will be a threat. Pienaar. First of all, it's the scrum. It doesn't want to turn around beyond the 90.
Nothing illegal. Nothing illegal.
Leicester got to be upset here. Let's just look at the pressure Aguja's under. You can see Trimble is chasing, but look, 1, 2, 3 Leicester players there, and when the chase is completed, just watch what happens here. Murphy stops, Tuilangi picks a bad angle, it's 1 versus 3, and Trimble outstrips them all. Aguja not really supported there, just a little feint to cross him from somebody to check him. Gave him a clear run at Aguja. Big right hand here, Mars. Very dangerous. Pienaar so clever, working meters of space.
Yes, that's where Pienaar comes into play. Referee's going to give a penalty. Here comes Pienaar. Out goes the ball. Trimble again. Same corner. Same man. Has he top and tailed the half with tries? Andrew Trimble.
Oh, well, that looked live like an almost carbon copy finish. Trimble's awareness of where the touchline is seems so good. He's in again. I'm pretty certain.
Looked like it, Stuart.
Ball hits the line. He's scored again. It's a great finish.
On Tuilangi's wing, Alessandro Tuilangi hasn't stopped. Andrew Trimble here. It's try number 2 for the Ulster winger.
Yes.
And the game could have turned right around here.
I want to try.
Back to Ulster again in a big way.
All comes from Leicester getting turned over, held up, then the finish is good. Pienaar with a solid scrum is orchestrated things superbly, but Trimble, the 2 paces he takes when he gets the ball are brilliant. He's got no space, but what he's done, he's had to check the cross-field momentum of Leicester. He threatens to come in, and that's what makes it possible. It's a lovely, clear platform. Watch what he does now. Stop, check, go. If he goes for the corner when he catches that ball, Tuilangi batters him into row 2 of the stand. As it is, Watch what he does now. He catches this ball, he comes off his right foot, checks him, holds him, and in that second, he's in.
Same place for Trimble on the try, therefore same place for Pienaar, who started the half with a conversion from here. And he might have finished it. No, he hasn't. It's gone across the face of the post. But Ulster, who went into a 10-0 lead courtesy of that first Trimble try and Pienaar conversion, and then a penalty as well, saw that eroded and then re-established one better than 10 with this Andrew Trimble score, a second try.
Well, Leicester have got it all to do as we see Trimble score his second try. Ulster sharper, Leicester struggling.
18-7, the half-time score.
Best of the European top flights, and they're looking like champions once again as it stands in Pool 4. This is with Ulster leading Leicester 18 points to 7. They have 18 points on the table as well. Leicester now on 12 with nothing at the moment. Clermont-Auvergne on 11 points still to play this weekend. Confirming, of course, there are 2 other matches taking place. Racing are down to Edinburgh at home, 7 points to 14. So Edinburgh looking good. Ospreys lead the way over Treviso at home, 25 points to 10. It is 18-7 here at Ravenhill. Let's return to your commentators for the second half, Stuart Barnes and Miles Harrison.
Thanks, James, and a very expectant crowd there. The Ulster fans enjoyed the first half, and so they should. 2 tries for Andrew Trimble, 2 brilliantly taken tries from Trimble as well. And of course, therefore, halfway to a bonus point for 4 tries. Let's not go too early on that one, but it has to be in the Ulster mind somewhere, because if they were to go on and win this game with those 4 tries, then 19 points. Let's say Clermont get up to 16 with 4 tries against Ironi tomorrow. And 3 points the difference between the 2 teams, Clermont and Ulster, next week. It really does start to open up possibilities.
Well, 19 probably makes you just about favourite to qualify as one of the best 2 runners-up. 18 makes you just about odds against. It's really important, but I don't think Ulster will even be thinking about that at the moment, because they'll have enough respect for Leicester's traditions as an English club, as a European club. There's a lot to be done in this game, but right now Leicester are not going to quell the home team unless they change the way they approach the breakdown. It's very Premiership style. It's 2 men in, it's wait, and it's defending wide. Ulster are sending forwards there, they're getting quick ball. Leicester have got to be smart here. Cockrell and O'Connor have got to say more men at the breakdown, start competing there, don't just try and defend it.
Well, it's the most important team talk that Richard Cockrell and Matt O'Connor would have had to have made all season. Same too, the Ulster management, of course, to keep it going, to keep the flow. We're told from the changing room area that there have been no changes to either side at half-time. So as you were, Leicester will be hoping for a different story.
Okay.
So too that man Alassana Tuilangi. Both tries, as we said before, having come down his wing. Now that's a sleepy start to the second half from Ulster as the ball was allowed to bounce, and then Ferris eventually took it. Maybe it fell in the perfect spot, but it didn't seem to be any conviction in the Ulster ranks there. So just to settle the side again, Pienaar takes his time with that one, and then that's not his best box kick either. So Ulster need to wake up again.
Very messy 30 seconds from Ulster. It's the second time it's happened in the first half. Aguja got hold of Ferris. Muller involved as well there. Ferris doesn't come forward, no one goes back. Second time it's happened. Sharp in many ways, Ulster, but their restart needs to tighten up a bit.
Hawkins finds Parley over his recent knee injury. Jeff Parley, see him there with the beard. It's his 4th take of the night. is Young's. 12 trees. Ulster won't mind that. Leicester move from half-back across the field as they did there.
3 men in very quickly trying to hold Murphy again.
And it's a penalty, a little bit more penetration from Leicester as they arrived, having gone laterally initially. Now there's some swinging arms. Don't think anything was landed there. It'll need sorting out, and the players will have to be pulled apart. Referee wasn't out, but in fact he was on the floor. Smile from Steve Maffey. I don't think there's anything major, but we should listen to the referee, Romain Poit.
Yeah. When I blew my whistle, end of story. Agree with that? Yeah. Okay. Injury. No.
I like the pacifist style of Romain Poit, don't you? Minimalist in his English, quite straightforward. Ben Young's very aggressive, trying to make sure that Poit saw them, slowing it down. And Romain Poit, he's just about to blow his whistle. And there's a Leicester man on the floor and he's fallen on him. Great, the bloke's injured. Romain Poit, not the most dignified moment.
It's the way the physio tries to keep the referee away from Anthony Allen.
I'll take that back because he's got a knock there as well. It looked humorous, but head injury, so very unfortunate all round there.
I think it is precaution. Seems to be plenty of movement there for Allen, and the movement that we really want to see is him sitting up again, which is good. He's only just come back from a freak injury, really, a DIY accident at home when he cut a tendon. He runs into the rolling moor.
Hits Tui, doesn't he? A Muller.
And has a collision there that he can't quite recover from initially, but he's okay now.
Go back to the basics of the game. Kick-off that should have been handled by Ulster. It wasn't. A bad kick from Pienaar, and suddenly Leicester are on the 22, and 12 Trees has what should be an elementary 3 points to get them back into the game.
Leicester would have said we need those first points by hook or by crook in the second half. They've engineered the position, and 12 Trees has hit the post.
Wow.
Should have been 3. And Ferris, who failed to take the kick-off to this second half, gratefully receives the rebound from the missed kick. And that is 3 points that Leicester can ill afford not to take there. It's been knocked on by Ulster. Young sees Castro Giovanni, now he sees Maffey and Hawkins. Only really Aguja is the quick man in that particular potential move. So Anthony Allen, you don't get long to recover from an injury in this game. Tackled by Henry. Youngs to 12 Trees. And he's had a bad minute there, has Billy 12 Trees. First the missed kick, then the pass, taken quick to the line out, and it's Terre Blanche. And Alassana Tuilagi has a long way to go back there. And Ulster have come out of that smelling of roses, they really have.
Well, 12 Trees under pressure, misses a kick he should never miss, but look at this. The system there is really good. They've got cover everywhere, and there's your man circled, Ferris. They've got a net, 4 men. There's no way Leicester are going to get there. That's really well organised. Ferris sweeps it up, and the next thing you know, after this missed kick, Terre Blanche has gained 40 metres. That is a horrible miss for 12 Trees, and superbly handled by Ulster.
That thing called pressure is swirling around again. Ferris picked up by John Arfoa.
Oh, nice step.
36 caps for New Zealand. Gave it a little shimmy there, the prop, didn't he? Leicester should have had the points at the start of the second half, but are Ulster going to get that first score? Here's Gilroy. Gilroy nearly getting away there, just lost his footing. But the youngster's done well. And still Ulster go on. It's their ball here. Court gets it down. Pienaar, Arfoa tries another little shimmy. Castro Giovanni just lies in his way. And that did the trick. Because it led to the penalty for Leicester.
Support was...
Good defence from Leicester there. John Afoa, very good step.
There's no way for that, I told you.
Not just fancy footwork, he's putting tacklers off their positional defensive play, and that just creates a bit of space. Oh no.
Twelvetrees has missed it, given to Humphries. Here's to Blanche. But Toby Flood out injured at the moment for Leicester, and they might be feeling that as a club here. We're feeling Stephen Ferris again, but he feels Hawkins. Seconds out, round 5, I think. Vandenberg, Gilroy, no space to work in. He's hounded out by the Leicester defence. Plenty again to keep your eyes on here at the start of the second half.
It just feels, doesn't it, as if Ulster have been galvanised by Twelvetrees' miss. There's the step that beats Castro Giovanni, and that's the step that gets Pienaar and co on the front foot. The forwards 2 metres all the time. It's too easy. Leicester aren't able to stop them. They need really nice hands here. Look at this from Cave. Beautiful. The little step in just to hold his man, and Gilroy steps Murphy. Leicester retrieve the situation, and then it's Ferris coming powerfully. Hawkins hits him with a shoulder. Frankly, that is a penalty. There was no attempt to make a tackle there, but Ferris just rolls out of it.
As Hawkins just decided to stop Ferris any which way. We're into double figures for his carrying tonight. Stephen Ferris, and Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, there aren't many better than him when he carries. Youngs puts in. Tigers working hard there, getting some reward. Twelvetrees goes crossfield. Murphy's after this to Ilangi. Well taken by Trimble's having some game now. Although he was slipping, that tackle seemed to be around the neck. And that is the reason, I think, for the response from the old stand over there as we look from that lovely new construction.
Time off.
On the main camera side, but the referee's assistant was in good position.
Combien contre les Verts? 3 ou 4 en deuxième mi-temps, s'il te plaît, Daniel? 2 plus... Et celle-là, c'est la troisième? D'accord.
John Murphy is required.
Just reckless, okay?
Just do what,
For the
sir?
attacker, just high, okay?
A little bit high, yeah, it's
Under the shoulder.
accidental, it's not intentional that.
Thanks.
He slipped and he's fallen. Thank you.
Time on.
I think Jordan Murphy's right.
I think it was Murphy tackling, was it?
Yeah. You know, I think he's right when he says accidental. He's going to say that anyway. I must say, it's been a difficult start to the half for Billy Twelvetrees, but that was a very clever kick. We'll look at that in a minute. Leicester knew what they were doing.
Well, there's Tuilangi, the man who I think was the one who went high. He kept the ball in, but that's hardly the return he was looking for.
Tremendous game. You can see circled at the moment, Tremble, but look, Jordan Murphy, Tuilangi, they're coming at him. It's a 2-on-1. It's a perfectly weighted kick, and Trimble turns his body in the nick of time. Technically, that was excellent.
Maybe it was just a warning for Murphy and his team. It clearly was Tuilangi with the high tackle.
Yeah.
That's not straight at the line out. Here it is. Murphy went up. Tuilangi was the man who got Trimble. How high was he? High.
No swinging arm, no intent. Technically, it's a penalty. I wouldn't feel the blood pressure rise for that one, though, if I was an Ulster fan.
Leave your shoulder. Leave the shoulder. Shoulder. Your shoulder in front, number one. Leave your shoulder. Shoulder. Sorry.
I think Marcus Iurtza said, leave your sugar.
Referee wants those props to drive straight.
Locks. Crutch.
He's clean in his instructions, isn't he, Poit?
Touch. Pause. Engage.
A good contest, the scrum. Not for the first time, it's in danger of swinging round, but
6.
coming off too quickly
6
there.
wide, not bind.
Stephen
6
Ferris, the man who's been called for coming off too quickly, the blindside flanker, and Leicester get a penalty. And Billy Twelvetrees had a chance here to get himself back into the game mentally.
That feels like a real error there for Stephen Ferris. The scrum had gone the other way. Ferris was coming off, but the ball was going the other way. Waldron lost it. That's a soft penalty to give away. If you watch this scrum now, Ferris on your left-hand side, as the scrum goes, there he's never getting to it.
Maybe one of those where sometimes you see a trigger movement from another player and it just sets him off, a bit like in the 100 metres final. There's Waldron.
Don't get many pinged either for that coming off early. It's not one of the trendy offences, is it?
Don't get many the size of Stephen Ferris in a 100 metres final either, do you? He's pretty quick with that ball in hand, quick enough. Here's Allen. Gilroy's a real spiky customer, hasn't he, on this wing for Ulster? 21 years of age, and he'll be enjoying this. Lapping it up. Youngster in this environment. There to be enjoyed. Games like these, 12-3s. He hasn't had the most enjoyable start to the second half, but it'll be a test of his character to come back. Allen lost by Hawkins, taken by Trimble, who is, of course, in search of a hat-trick. Pienaar. Advantage called over. That's Dan Tui. And that's the ball for Pienaar again. To Humphries. Nice cool play from Wallace, and then it was Cave coming back from Henry. And there's Gilroy again.
That's lovely rugby, worked the space so well.
With that spinning top play of his Gilroy. Humphries to Arfoa. Knocks into Hawkins. Hawkins is putting himself about. Sometimes with better effect than at other times. Here's Ferris carrying again. Brick by brick, the phase play begins to build once more for Ulster, and that leads to the penalty. And whereas 12-3s missed his, this for Ulster is exceptionally gettable.
You just feel that the Leicester levy is always in danger of breaking when Ulster are able to put any phases together. But you know, Leicester, their passing is inaccurate. There was a little episode between Smith and Allen, and it was poor. In contrast, Cave, the running lines are very good, very sloppy. And this guy, Trimble, his instinct's very predatory. Look at this play here. The line there is lovely. The little inside ball, there's just great awareness. They're far sharper, far more accurate than Leicester at the moment. And this, when you think in context of 12-3s miss, which makes it 18-10, to go 21-7. Miles, you said Leicester had to get the first 3 and then they missed it. So big.
Pienaar missed the conversion. The one miss tonight from him just before half-time. Right on the touchline again. And when you look at it like that, it's hardly easy, is it? But he'll expect to get it. He'll expect to get it because he's that type of player. He's got that mind. He's made for the big game. That's why he came to Ulster. This week is announced he'll be staying for a further 2 years. And they'll be delighted if he keeps producing kicks like those.
He's in the Morgan Parra, Dimitri Yashvili's school of scrum half kickers. Very talented fly half as well, and what you're seeing is the range and repertoire of his game.
Caught by Dan Tui. No mistake from that one, that restart. Or indeed kick-off as it was. At the start of the second half, with that first score now going to Ulster. And Pinar's rediscovered his box kick as well. Waldrum away from Gilroy. Down goes Rory Best. Waldrum still has it, doesn't want to hold on for too long. He's back to Selvey and Murphy. Allen. Here comes Alisana Tuilangi. He'll have a burning desire in the rest of this game because of what's happened with Trimble scoring. But there's Trimble going in for another tackle, along with his mates.
Voracious today, isn't he, David Trimble? Even Stephen Trimble.
Try Andrew.
Did I say David? I've done that before. He's long gone as a politician.
It's not the Tuilangis, there's only one of them. There's Hawkins. Ajertza. And it's another penalty, and Pinar will be interested.
Well, he's only a metre further back than where it was before, and again, it's the battle of the breakdown. It's turning very one-sided. Leicester are just leaking opportunities here. Ajertza, the Argentinian Leicester prop, holding on to the ball. That was the decision. Here's the man who's going to be penalised. Goes to ground.
Please, on me.
I have seen some referees, you know, penalise Pedri Wannenberg for not getting away quickly, but he's very quick with his decision, and it's looking pretty grim for Leicester at the moment. This kick goes over. 17 points with the momentum of the game. It's a massive journey back for the Tigers.
Dan Cole comes on. Leicester making first of their changes in the front row. Castro Giovanni goes off. Ed Slater's about to come on as well. But that hasn't happened. What's about to happen is Rowan Pinar's chance here to take it at 24-7. It's there again for Rowan Pinar. He judged that to perfection.
You know, I don't think he even caught that one properly, but it's one of those nights for Pinar. It's turning into one of those nights for Ulster. He's looking at that one a long time. He knows that's not the perfect strike, but the crowd, well, 3 points, he couldn't get any more.
He was nervous when it left the boot, but what he didn't want to do, you could see in his kicking style, was sacrifice the rhythm. He just wanted to place it. He knows he's got the length if he hits it well enough, and he did hit it well enough. And here's Murphy is about to get hit again, and Ferris right at the top of the arrow. Youngster Ajertza, and Leicester, England's most successful club in the European Cup over the years, on the edge here. They do play Ironi in their final game, but will 17 points be enough? Surely not. There's Paddy Wallace kicking for the corners, forcing Tuilangi to turn, and Ulster have this game now. They know that.
It's in the palm of their hand. Billy 12 Trees is being reduced to a ragged second half here. And did you see the speed with which Ulster were down on that ball? I think it was Rory Best. And once again, the kicking game of the home team so much better. Paddy Wallace showing his ability as a fly half with a beautiful kick into the corner. Nothing the Leicester back three could do about it.
Darren Cave been forced off because of injury. Ian Whitten has come on. He's been playing very well in midfield as Whitten. And that forecast of Ed Slater coming on, that's now occurred, and Steve Maffey has gone off. There is Ian Whitten for 12 against Edinburgh last week. And a couple of caps for Ireland. North America tour 3 years ago.
Got to say, I thought Darren Cave had a very good game. Understated, but lovely running lines, distribution good, defended very well.
Nevin Spence just coming back from an ankle injury, but Cave certainly proving his worth. There's a good battle between those two. Of course, Paddy Wallace at 12 gives Ulster real security in that position. Wallace, who goes all the way back to the 2004 meeting between these two, that famous one, 33-0. Paddy Wallace to play fullback that day. But let's bring you right back up into 2012 and the table in this pool 4, and you can see now Ulster piling on the points as well as the agony for Leicester.
Well, Leicester aren't going to get back in the game if they are as inaccurate as they are at the moment. Terrible kick to touch there. The ball at the front of the line, that was okay. Ben Youngs not standing up for the responsibility, and Ulster are standing up, and at the moment they're trampling over Leicester.
It continues like this. What a game it is going to be in Clermont-Auvergne next week, and what a run from Andrew Trimble. The whistle has gone. The players haven't heard it. Blanche is going in. Tuilangi's still trying to cause some damage, and the celebration is so genuine. You know they haven't heard the whistle. But there's going to be a horrible moment now of realisation for those Ulster players that the referee has called them back,
Pushing
not just for the forward pass.
defender.
It was a penalty for obstruction in midfield, and Ulster have got to be aware here and crossed. It's one of those instances that could swing right back to Leicester here, but no, it doesn't come back to Ben Youngs. He is furious as once again Ulster get the penalty at the breakdown.
Time off, David.
I think Youngs has lost his temper because of that, and he's telling Ian Humphries all about it, who is not taking a step back.
Stay with me.
Yeah, but he needs to be cool, Ben Youngs. He's not putting an international performance. He's getting het up. It's not helping his teammates.
That kind of dissent could cause issues for Youngs, as the captains have been pulled over.
No. Yeah, we'll sort it out.
It's a funny game.
Sort it out, yeah.
Let me talk. It's a funny game. I enjoy, and I think you enjoy.
Yes.
But this is the time. You have to speak to your teammate.
Yeah,
okay, just to calm down.
No problem.
And tell to the number 9. I blew my whistle. Holding on.
Yeah.
That's end of story.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You have 30 seconds to talk.
Just on the decision.
Big smiles from you,
same as when you're here, no?
Thank you. Thank you.
Joel Murphy's still going to be sent away now. And when asked was he enjoying it, Joel Murphy says, "Speak for yourself."
That's good work from the referee, Romain Poit, because it's not easy. There's the decoy line, and then what you get from Ulster, you get Trimble coming in there, looking for the inside ball. There's the initial block, the fade outside, the inside ball to Andrew Trimble. It's beautifully done, but it was a block, and it's really good refereeing. I've been impressed with Romain Poit today.
Okay. Time on.
Not sure Joel Murphy is impressed with that comment, though. I think you're probably enjoying it as well. Anyway, penalty given, and as you say, rightly so. It's probably a little bit forward as well, the pass, so double whammy on that one. Matt Smith's gone, Jeremy Staunton is on, and Ian Humphries is enjoying running the show. And why wouldn't you enjoy playing alongside Rowan Pienaar? There's Jeremy Staunton, the Irishman, Limerick born.
He goes to fly half. Billy Twelvetrees shifts to outside centre. Allen stays at 12 at the moment. I wouldn't say Staunton would be the ultimate game chasing 10, though.
Let's go.
Best throws, finds his captain Muller, who has good reason to smile with a quarter of the game left. And Ulster go on. It's good control. Now it comes to the floor. They'll have to think of another plan, or maybe not. Maybe they'll just regather and go again, these forwards. They're valuable meters and they're valuable seconds as well now. We're into that part of the game where Leicester will be thinking, how on earth are we going to get back from this here at Ravenhill, where Ulster have had such a good record over the years, and over the year of 2011, just the one defeat on this ground against Treviso during the World Cup period. 10 straight Heineken Cup wins here. Ed Slater.
Ed Slater there. Johan Muller doesn't worry at all. But there again, Ed Slater is not the man who deserves condemnation there. It's Henry, the open side flanker, and so often you see the man who throws the punch get in trouble. It's the guy who's pulling him back.
Still speak, just...
You're forgiven, Ed Slater. You are by me anyway.
And the officials didn't see it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Change of jersey for Dan Cole. Leicester will be wondering about whether there'll be a change of fortunes. Let's just look at the disallowed try again.
Yes, Chris
Henry went
Henry.
across.
It's a well-orchestrated move, and I think it would have fooled a lot of refs.
It's a good finish as well. They didn't know the whistle had gone, and Witten joined the line and did very well on that take and give.
He's played well, Chris Henry, you know. I know the legal is blocked, but he's been very intelligent. Had a key role, I think, in the Ulster pack.
Right back to that form of a couple of years ago when he was sweeping all the awards here from supporters, players, rugby writers. He got the lot in 2009, 2010, and Ulster are giving the lot here at this scrum, and they're going to get a penalty. Just one, Dino. And it is probably a little bit early, given the situation and the opposition. But they've got to start thinking big at some point. They are going for the post. That's probably...
It's right. It's
you think
right.
it's the right call? Probably is.
17 points. They've got this game in control, but Leicester are dangerous. One more score just about closes it out, I think. And I would say right now, another 3 points against Leicester. And I wouldn't say this normally, but Leicester seem to be really bedraggled at the moment. Heads seem to be dropping. Their discipline seems to be all over the place. You know, it's been a horrible second half ever since that missed kick from 12 trees. They've not got themselves back into this tie at all.
Well, it's not quite 33-0, but it's not bad for Ulster, and they have a lot of time to add. This is the kick that they hope will just seal it in terms of the end result, and then they can go on from here. And think big, think tries, think about adding to the Trimble score as well. Rowan Pienaar just keeps on adding to his tally. Superb kicking performance. It's 27-7.
Miles, the other thing we're talking about, it's Ferris's hit early on Allen. We're talking about Ulster pressing on for 4 tries. The other thing they've got to make sure they do is stop Leicester getting 1, because if Leicester got 1, that would give them advantage Ulster for a runners-up spot. Clement away is very difficult. If they 4-0 Leicester, Leicester are out of the equation, so keep getting further away. It's an understandable policy.
Ajurza. Youngs. Staunton looking for Waldrum, and he's found him. But there's Henry again, and also Rory Best, who gets through the work of a back row. He really does, Rory Best, with his tackling. And Paddy Wallace not doing too bad there either. Lifting up and over the line.
Come.
And it's going to be Dan Cole into the sin bin. Now, is that for Verbals? Dissent? We're told it is from the touchline.
As we said, Leicester have just completely lost the plot. You know, this is a team with a lot of internationals. We've seen Ben Youngs running around like a wailing banshee at times, not focused on his game. Dan Cole has come off the bench. Instead of trying to steady the scrum, he's seeing the scrum go backwards. Verbals, and he's in the sin bin. This is a very, very poor display from Leicester. This is a very powerful one as well. Paddy Wallace just treating Tom Croft. Oof, dear.
Well, they weren't the words in question. But he was right on the scene next to the referee, who heard something, and he motioned with his hand. That is the signal, of course, from the referee. It's one of that confirming, and it was from the touchline. So Dan Cole into the sin bin for 10 minutes. Leicester, 14 men, trailing by 20 points. And these players weren't involved in 2004, but as a club, Leicester will feel like they've been here before. Humphreys.
Stay!
That wasn't his best kick.
Advantage, forward Green.
Came off Leicester, though. And back into Ulster hands, and Pienaar finds Wallace. Needs a tall man. Ferris is that man, but it's gone forward.
Well, they're a man light at the moment, Leicester, and they're in danger of being hammered here. But They have got to try and play their way out of this. It's no good just trying to shut up shop at the moment. Leicester have got to get within 7 points somehow. They have to give themselves a hope of a bonus point. Right now, it looks like a fairy tale because Ulster are absolutely hammering the Tigers.
Little wave from Ian Humphries, brother of David, of course, now the boss here off the field. He used to be the star man. The man, I suppose, above all others, was the star man in that final back in 1999. Now, that means Paul Marshall comes on. He will play at scrum half, and Rowan Pienaar is versatile. Pienaar goes to fly half, and that was a combination that worked really well last week against Munster when Marshall made a terrific blindside break that led to an Andrew Trimble try in that game, and the break and link twice that led to the Darren Cave try in that game. So it's a tried combination this season at halfback, and it's a very good one. Now Shooter is on for Hawkins.
Well, Pienaar, you know, he's a quality, high quality international Springbok fly half as well as a scrum half. Just pouring on the agony, as you say. Marshall's quick, sharp. A massive test now of Leicester's character this season. They've been winning in England, but they haven't been playing well, and with the performance not good enough tonight, they really are reaping a whirlwind against Ulster.
Was Castro Giovanni required again for the scrums while Cole is off? There he is.
Touch!
And that change at hooker as well for Leicester. Anthony Allen's gone down on the flank there. Well, Leicester in a right mess here, aren't they? Here comes Tuilagi. Ulster have got them exactly where they want them. Slater.
No.
Here goes 12 Trees. Tries the outside break. Vandenberg got back to make the tackle. Ball's loose on the floor now, and Ulster have got hands on it. Try and ruck this back as well.
Knocked on.
It's a knock on and has been given. Some boots went in there as well, but the crowd didn't like.
Well, I think it was Alessandro Tuilagi is getting the stick from the home crowd there.
Leicester don't like the way it's been refereed at the breakdown.
I think Jordan Murphy, with all the experience, has got to come in. Watch the right boot of Tuilagi there. There's not much in it, but the crowd didn't like it. I mean, I'm certain at the end of this game, Richard Cockrell will have some words of criticism for the officials. It's often that way, but this is not about the refereeing at the breakdown. It's the fact that Ulster have been sharper, quicker, more clever, more organised than Leicester, and Leicester really have just fallen away in this second half.
Pause, engage.
Vandenberg. Here goes Marshall. Pienaar in his new role. Up comes Ter Blanche. The dangerous Trimble. Henry acts as scrum half. Pienaar, who used to be. There's our Fur in midfield, and Wallace too, given to Whitten. He's got Rory Best outside, and Whitten is going on. Tap tackle, a vital one there from Anthony Allen, as Ulster now really are going for tries 3 and 4. Here's Pienaar to Afoa and Ferris, whose work rate has been colossal tonight. Pienaar again to Blanche, good hands, Vandenberg, he's got the man outside, and Ulster have got the try with Gilroy. There's number 3. It's the Heineken Cup, it should mean the best, and Ulster are giving their best tonight.
We're seeing a very high-class performance now. Mention again for Pedri Vandenberg, the South African number 8, with a lovely deft touch to Trimble for the first try. He's straightened this and given Gilroy space. Leicester are now down and they are out. Ulster, they are in pursuit of what would be a crucial bonus point. Picked up from the bootstrings by Pienaar. Good hands from Trimble, but that's lovely. Vandenberg, the Springbok trio. Rowan Pienaar with the catch. The flick pass from Blanche, and that is a gorgeous touch from the former Blue Bulls and Springbok Pedri Wannenberg. Gilroy the beneficiary, that one signed and sealed in South Africa.
That try means Leicester have gone, all but gone in the Heineken Cup this season. It means Ulster are staring at the possibility of a bonus point win here. Pienaar kicks, and that's significant too in a historical way, because it takes Ulster out in front of the score here in 2004. They have conceded tonight, but 33 in 2004, 34 with power to add in 2012. Lovely from Wannenberg. Gilroy, the pace to follow.
Ravenhill, the stuff of nightmares for the Tigers. 33 all those years ago, now it's 34. Astonishing.
Marshall, Pienaar, Leicester now rocking and rolling, and maybe deep down just won that final whistle. There's no way back from here, not even for a bonus point. And the crowd know that, and they are singing Ulster on. Oh, in a English sort of way. Here's Youngs to Shooter. Leicester trying things as they have to do, but that might just open it up a little bit more for Ulster. Arfoa to the excellent Henry. Well, all of Ulster players have been excellent. There goes Wallace. Down the line goes Trimble again. Nearly got a boot on it. And in comes Aguja. And Trimble connected there. This place would have gone wild. Picked up by Tuilagi. Wallace tried to get in there. This time Leicester do sort the breakdown. 2 minutes left on the sin bin for Dan Cole. Leicester need everybody.
Sitting off.
And Ulster got a penalty, and they're not kicking this one. They're not kicking this one because Marshall is going to get the bonus point. Ulster have got there. The bag is full.
Sums up the game. Marshall has come off the bench, so quick-witted. But if you look at Leicester at the breakdown again, they went into the tackle. There's no support there. Ulster so much quicker. It sums up this match. Richard Cockrell forlorn. It's all done. It's over for Leicester. But Ulster now up to 19 points, and they will go to Clermont Auvergne for what will be an amazing game, and maybe the vital cushion of 19 and not 18 points. Look how slow Leicester are there, driven over the top by Ulster. It sums it up. Nobody's reorganised there. Castrogiovanni's the only Tiger to even attempt to make a tackle. They've gone.
Marshall, time to celebrate. The replacements, the physios, all trying to grab him. Marshall was trying to get into the crowd. Great scenes here at Ravenhill for Ulster. They have ripped Leicester apart. Tigers have been tamed tonight. Totally tamed. Marshall knew exactly what he had to do here. Leicester a man down. No thought of reorganising there. Marshall had only thoughts for the try line and the bonus point. Sin bin period is over. Leicester's Heineken Cup is over.
Dan Cole.
41-7, and look where it sends Ulster, up to 19. We've kept saying it. Let's hope Clermont do get 4 tries tomorrow, otherwise it's a major egg on the face. But if they do, and they should do, they'll be up to 16. 3 points the gap. Ulster looking well placed for a second place anyway, but they will want more than that. They know that being at home in a quarter-final makes such a difference. They suffered from that last season when they went to Milton Keynes and lost to Northampton 23-13. And not many would fancy coming to Ravenhill. Marshall goes again. Such a live wire. He signed a 2-year deal this week as well, along with Ruan Pienaar. And how he's blossomed with Pienaar here. Aguja caught by Henry. Not the first tonight to be caught by Henry. That's Salvi to Parling. Out from Staunton. A shell shot Leicester here. 12 trees. Saw Jordan Murphy, after the Marshall scored, try to gather the Leicester players to say, look, for a club of this size, a club of this nature, we have to show some character now in the last 5 minutes.
Hands on.
We can't concede again, but Ulster are hungry for more. That's Lewis Stevenson now onto the field. And you could hear what the Ulster fans think of it all and what message they want to send to the English team. Julian Salvi. Youngs. And then Ben Woods.
19 away.
Leicester getting the ball, but it doesn't matter a jot, apart from preserving what little pride they've got left tonight. And that pride has been so injured, so hurt, with one of the performances of the season in the Heineken Cup here from Ulster.
21.
It's a real message, isn't it? 4-try win, 40-point-plus win.
It is a catastrophic evening for Leicester, but it has been an awesome performance from Ulster. They've been quicker, sharper than Leicester throughout this game, and this has been a blow for English club rugby. It might not be just Leicester man of the match time. Well, I think Chris Henry has spearheaded a brilliant effort from the forwards. The mastermind has been Ruan Pienaar, but the two key tries, so well taken in the first half, scored by Andrew Trimble. That was the foundations. He's done everything right. But these finishes, they're not from far, but they're superb scores. Tuolangi one-on-one. This is the moment when you think Leicester can't win this. Andrew Trimble is my Heineken Cup man of the match in a magnificent Ulster performance.
2 of the 4 tries. And Nigel Brady has come on for Ulster to act as hooker, and that's significant because it's 100 games now for Ulster for Nigel Brady, and there's another change happening in the front row. Well, changers. Adam Macklin's coming on, John Afoa's going off, and Callum Black is coming on too. And also Adam Darcy's out there, just saw him run through the shot there, the dark-haired back for Ulster. Whose moment against Clermont here, how important is that when he got away from Regan King? Now, Leicester trying to show that character at the very end. Harrison is their new scrum half. Staunton at fly half now. Anthony Allen. Slater to Ijertza. This is good from Leicester, but that was forward from Shooter. And Ulster have got 3 minutes to really rub the salt in.
And that's awful from George Shooter. Leicester have done really well there. They're in a good position, and that is so lazy. Ben Youngs cannot believe what has happened. He is in a difficult individual period at the moment. His game's not right, but Leicester are just not firing. They've got away with it against teams like Wasps in the Premiership, but they've come up a level against the Celtic League that is quicker in thought and deed at the moment than the Premiership, and that has been reflected tonight. But the scoreline, astonishing. 33 points the margin the last time Leicester came here. It's 34 at the moment. It is astonishing.
Leicester have lost 1 game since mid-October. That, of course, to Clermont-Auvergne. But it's that loss against Clermont-Auvergne away from home, and this loss here away to Ulster, where they have conceded an awful lot of points in those 2 games, in fact. And Richard Cockrell knows that, well...
Let's just say the Premiership takes on a great deal of importance for Richard Cockerell and Leicester now.
Bending tight.
Big club with a big history, Leicester. And this will hurt to the core. They've got a penalty to at least deny Ulster maybe one last attack. But Ulster won't care, really. They just want to preserve players now, keep their fitness for this game in Clermont-Auvergne next week, where anything suddenly seems possible. Now, that's saying something when you think that it's at Clermont-Auvergne, and you said earlier on the journey here from the hotel that the All Blacks wouldn't win in Clermont-Auvergne. I know what you mean.
Well, Miles, no one wants to come to Ravenhill. No one wants to go to Clermont, the land of the volcanoes. What a game that's going to be if Ulster replicate this performance.
I suppose that's the if, and that is Ulster's challenge to do it away from home. That's what the great European Cup sides do, and that's what Ulster want to be again. But what a month this is turning out to be for Ulster. What a start to the year. Munster, Edinburgh, bonus points all over the place. Anyway, here's Leicester trying to get a Gouger into Trimble's corner. They can't. 30 seconds left.
Still advantage.
It is a great advert for Leicester this last 5 minutes, the way they've tried to finish the game. But the previous 75, sadly, were not tonight for them. In goes Trimble. How strong has he been in everything that he's done?
It's been immaculate, Miles. He hasn't done as much as some players, but everything he's done has been accurate, and the tries were critical.
So here's Croft. Leicester with this ball, unable to do anything about it. They got the Jordan Murphy try to come back into it in the first half, but that now seems an awful long time ago. Allen to Tuilagi. Tuilagi drops it. Ulster. It's that old Ravenhill magic again. Too strong for Clermont here, and now way too strong for Leicester at a European venue where others fear to tread, always have done. Now, can Ulster go away from home and do a job in France as well? But what they have done tonight with that bonus point is put themselves in a magnificent position for qualification.
Well, they might have something of a buffer now with those 5 points today. Magnificent from Ulster. Leicester, I'm afraid, look like an English regional power. English club rugby must be worried. The Celtic and the French League are moving ahead. Saracens need a big day Sunday for England, because Ulster have delivered a mighty performance for Ireland and the Celtic League. A mighty performance.
Won by 33 points all those years ago in 2004, and they have won by 34 points tonight. They've upped the performance, and how.
Well, they've never forgotten that result in 2004 round here. This result will linger in the memory just as long. Sublime and ruthless in one. Ulster have made a statement to all of Europe here tonight, and the gathered faithful have been rewarded for their fanatical support. Good luck to any team that visits Ravenhill with Ulster rugby in this mood. Confirming what it will do to Pool 4, because of course there is another week still to play in pool play next week. Things aren't set in stone just yet, but Ulster have done all that they can do this evening to put themselves in the box seat for a quarter-final position from Pool 4. 19 points. A win was all they were after. They did dream of a bonus point before this one kicked off. Well, they've gone there and issued a statement. 19 points in all. Leicester left stranded on 12. And with Clermont-Auvergne to play Aroni this weekend, the expectation is that they will be well and truly overtaken by the French sides.